Hi, this is Sweet June. How's everyone doing today? I got it on Google Images here, and I want to talk about ladies beware of hobosexuals. And here's a definition right here. Hobosexual, someone that enters into a relationship to prevent themselves from being homeless. That's what I want to talk about. Particularly single mothers. Um, really want to drive this point close to home with single mothers because I think single mothers are more vulnerable um, and more prone to allowing these type of men to enter into their lives because um, they're a little bit more because being a single mother, most women don't want to be a single mother. Most women want to have a male head, someone there to help them raise their children. And single mothers in particular have to be very careful of the hobosexual, of this type of man. Um, Now, these type of men can be very crafty. They can be very slick. And so you have to be really careful because they can be really slick. And if you the type of woman that you feel like you need to be validated by a man, meaning that you're beautiful. You know, you need a man to tell you you're beautiful. Your self-esteem is kind of low. Your self-worth is kind of low, and you need a man to tell you that you're beautiful to feel that, to feel beautiful, and to think you're beautiful. You need a man to tell you that you're beautiful and all these stuff and say all these things to you. It just seems like some of these men know what type of women to target. They can fill you out. They know what type of women to target, and sometimes if you're that type of woman that feel like, particularly if you're a young woman and you feel like you need that validation, um, they'll tell you anything that you want to hear, anything that um, you want to hear. They think you want to hear, particularly playing the marriage card, saying, "Yeah, I want to get married. I want to have a family and everything. Yeah, I'll take in you and your kids." Is saying everything that um, they think you want to hear. And some of them might even be faking um, they might even flat out lie to you and pretend like, they got a job, they got a place, or they're going to have a place or whatever, if they're living with their mom when you meet them or whatever, or living with somebody. Yeah, I'm getting ready to get my place, yeah, in a couple weeks here, whatever. I'm gonna get my place, and they might lie to you and tell you, they got a place or they're gonna get a place, and I'm gonna get man. I'm gonna get man. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get that. The I'm gonna get man. And so you have to be aware of that. And because some of them are real slick. Got to be careful, ladies, because some of these men are real slick. Um, and they'll do anything and say anything to get into you and to get into your house. Okay, you can't fall for it. You can't fall for it. If when you meet upon meeting him, if he doesn't have, and then it doesn't hurt. Like I say, ladies, do background checks. And it don't never hurt to do a background check. Thoroughly check out these men. If you live in a smaller town, word of mouth is always good. It's always good to ask around about this guy. Someone may know him. If they know him, they can tell you about him and what's up with him. But background checks are good. And this time, time is a big factor too. Um, you'll learn everything I said this in one of my other videos. You'll learn everything you need to know about a man in time, but you gotta give it time. The problem is sometimes these ladies rush into relationships, particularly a sexual relationship with these men, so fast they don't take the time to actually get to know who they're dealing with. That is a horrible thing to do. You need to give it time. You need to take the time to get to know the man, because you will learn the more time you take to get to know him, the more you will learn about him, the more you will find out about him. And that's what you need to do, because you'll find out if he got a stable job, if he's got a place, or if he, whatever the situation is. You'll find that out about him. You know, do background checks, um, but don't fall for, you know, don't make yourself vulnerable, and don't fall for sweet talk and yeah, I want to get married. They play the marriage card and say they want to get married, and just looking for a wonderful lady to settle down with. I don't mind you got kids, and I'll be a great father figure to your kids, and saying all the things that, particularly if you're a single mother, they're saying everything that you want to hear. And then you get them in your house. Um, all of a sudden, they don't have a job. They're laying up on you, expecting you to pay all the bills, and they're telling you everything that you know they you want to hear, and then to move into your house. Yeah, I just need to, until I can get on my feet and all that stuff, type of stuff. And then if you're vulnerable and like I said, you're a single mother and you're vulnerable, and you want somebody there really bad, you may fall for that. Particularly if you feel like you need to be validated. It's very important for women to know their self-worth. It's very important for women. As women, we have to know our self-worth, and we have to know that we're beautiful. We have to know that we're worthy. So we don't need that validation from a man. If a man tells me, "Oh yeah, you're beautiful," it go through one ear and out the other. Thank you, and keep it moving. Because I already know I'm beautiful inside. Beauty is not just physically, but it's inside as well. So I already know that I'm beautiful inside as well as outside. So I don't need validation in that way. I don't need a man to validate me. Probably when I was really, really young. When I was really, really young, I might have needed that validation when I was really, really young. But at this point in my life, I absolutely do not need that kind of validation. So a man can't run that down. A man can't snow me like that. And then especially if they and then sometimes men will think if they tell you that they love you, um I don't fall for that love stuff either. And they tell you that they love you, that's the magic word for some women, because they want to be loved. They're lonely and they really want to be loved really bad, and they want a man in their life and everything, and they want to get married and have a male head. That's the magic word for a lot of women. Yeah, baby, I love you. I want to be with you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And they're saying, and that's what causes some of these women to fall for these guys that's in prison. The I still don't understand the guy. I call it jail talk. That's what I call it. They say everything a woman want to hear, sweet talk the woman, and all this kind of stuff, and tickle her ears and everything, and they fall for it. I mean, they fall for it to the point to where they putting money on the man's books. Um, they come into the jail to visit, and some of them even go as far as to go to the jail and marry the man. I say, what good is he if he can't be there with you? You're of no use to me sitting in prison. Um, but that's another whole nother video. Um, but some women, depending on um, what you're lacking in emotionally and everything, These men will play on that, ladies, and you can't. You got to have your guard up. You cannot let these men manipulate you like that. It was really sad, like I said, in a situation where I was. You look at the video where I'm saying, ladies, you won't get scammed if check that video out. The man scammed this woman out of thousands of dollars. He scammed her out of, and he did that to multiple women. Scammed them out of thousands of dollars, sweet talking them and stuff, telling them that he loved them, and I don't know what else he did, but this one woman in particular, he scammed thousands of dollars out of her, and the poor lady committed suicide because that was probably all she had. That was probably her life savings or her 401k or something. You know what I'm saying? Her retirement or whatever it was, and that was all the money she had, and she gave it to him. And so, ladies, it's the same principle. It's the same principle with a guy scamming you out of your money, versus even the guy trying to move in with you. It's the same principle. Don't fall for the okie doke. Don't fall for that sweet talk and talking about what they gonna do. Well, I'm gonna buy you this and that, and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that for you. Don't fall for it, ladies. Don't fall for it. Talk is cheap. I always say this. I've always said this. And I say this all the time. This is one of my sayings. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. So if a man truly cares about you and has your best interest at heart, he's going to show you better than he can tell you. You know, he'll show you, and you'll learn everything you need to know about a man with time. If you rush into a sexual relationship with a man too fast, um, for us women, for sex for women is different than it is for men in most cases. Now there's some exceptions because sex is emotional to women. Sex is more of an emotional act to a woman. For men, it's more of a physical act. Now I'm not saying there are exceptions where women can be sexual with men and not get emotionally involved. Of course, there are exceptions. But if you're dating a guy and with the hopes of being a long-term relationship possibly leading to marriage, then if you enter into a sexual relationship with the man too soon, you can develop feelings for the man very, very quickly. And some men, they like to play that too. Some men, they figure if they put it on you real good, um, and tell you that they love you and put it on you real good, they figure they can get you that way too. So, and if you jump into having a sexual relationship with these men too soon, well, that's with with one of these type of men, a homosexual. If you jump into a relationship with them, a sexual relationship with too soon, that's right up their alley. That's right up their alley. They know that they need to be on their A game sexually. So they figure if they on their A game sexually, then they can get you to fall in love with them. Because men know that sex is an emotional act for a woman. They know that. And so they, do all the things that, and they get on top of their A game sexually and everything and get you to fall in love with them. They get you to a place they figure they get you hooked, emotionally hooked. By that time, next thing you know, he moving on in and everything, and he's sitting up there on your couch and everything, and he ain't working. And then on 6 months on down the road, you're wondering what's up, what happened, how did I get myself in this situation? So, so ladies, I'm telling you, I didn't get to be 52 to be stupid, okay? So these guys, especially like I said, you young single mothers, be aware. And these men are crafty. They're crafty. They're very, very crafty. That man that was able to scam them women all that money, he was very crafty. And they showed his picture. He was on a dating site, and he was a handsome, nice looking young man and everything. And he was quite dapper. And so he was able to run game on all these women. And that's who they target. They target single mothers, single women that, they figure most single women want to get married, is lonely. They target older women. These men target older women as well. Like when I say older women, women in their 60s and their 70s, older women. They had this one lady on Dr. Phil's show. This man beat her out of that poor lady got beat out of her retirement money. She was in her 70s. I mean, she was on up there past retirement. She was retired, and he beat her out of her little retirement savings that she had saved up for retirement. And she said, I got my dress all picked out, and I felt so bad to sit there. I cried. I kind of cried, because I just felt so bad for that lady. Oh, I felt so bad for her. And cause she said, "Oh, I got my dress all picked out." He said we were gonna get married, and I got my dress all picked out. And Dr. Phil was trying to tell her, he was trying to show her the receipts, as they say. He was trying to show her the receipts and let her know that look, this man is scamming you. And it was somebody from overseas. I think he wasn't even from the United States. And she just kept sending the man money. The man kept telling her different things, kept lying to her and telling her different things. He needed it for this and that and the other, and he's gonna pay her back. I need you to send me this X amount of dollars, and I pay you back or whatever. He was telling her all this stuff, and I'm gonna put this X amount of dollars in your account, whatever it was. He was telling her. Plus, he's telling her he loved her. Yeah, we gonna get married and all this and that and the other. And she fell for it. And the poor lady, I just felt so bad for the poor lady. I cried right along with her. I said, I felt so bad for that lady, and the kids, her kids was trying to tell her, but her kids, she wasn't listening to her kids, and it was just really sad, because and so sometimes these guys do play on single elderly women because they figure they lonely and they're looking for that companionship and this beat that poor lady out of her retirement. So these men, they're the psychopaths. They don't have no conscience. They don't care, if it's your life savings, all the money you got. They don't care as long as they get what they want. This guy that scammed these women out of this just recently, to scam these women out of all this money. He on Facebook posing and everything. He's on Facebook posing. Um, with the money in his hand and everything, showing off and everything. And the poor woman, this, like I said, the one woman in particular, um, I guess she gave him her life savings, and the poor lady winded up committing suicide. So, ladies, you just got to be careful. Please be careful of these type of men. Someone that will enter hobosexual, that will enter into a relationship to prevent themselves from being homeless. They'll be hooking up with you just to get a place to stay, telling you that they love you, this and that and the other. They want to marry you, and they definitely probably try to play the marriage card because they figure most women want to get married anyway. So just they'll lie to you. They don't care. Lying is second nature to them. They don't care. So and some of them would pass themselves off as very charming. They pass themselves off as very charming. They dress nice and everything and look nice, and that's what this guy did. They just scam these women. He was on this dating site. He was the picture that he had on there. He was quite dapper, you know, and so he had a suit on and everything. So yeah, try to make himself seem like he was a businessman or something like that. So you just gotta. The important thing is back. I can't express this more, ladies. Background checks. Take the time to get to know them. Take your time. Do not have sex with them. Uh, take your time. I can't express this more, ladies. Background checks. Take your time. If you live in a smaller city, ask around. Somebody might know them. You know. But if it's online, stay tuned. I got a video coming up giving some online dating tips. I used to do a online dating years ago, back in the early 2000s. So I learned some things from that experience. So stay tuned. I got that video coming up, giving you ladies some valuable online dating tips. But I want you ladies, I hate to see ladies go through that. I hate to see ladies, particularly young single mothers, I hate to see them go through that. You know, I know it's hard out here, ladies. I know that you know, I'm lonely too. I get lonely too. I like to have, well, first I wanted to get married, somebody to have a family with. Well, then I had my two sons, and then I wanted someone to help me, um, a husband as well as be a father figure to my sons. Well, my sons are all grown up now, so it would be nice to have someone to share my golden years with, to spend my golden years with. That would be nice. So I would like to have that at this stage in my life. But I tell you one thing, I don't want it so bad to where I'm gonna fall for the okie doke. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be okay with being alone. I mean, loneliness is a normal. It's normal to feel lonely at times, but you can't feel so lonely to the point to where you are vulnerable, that you make yourself vulnerable to these type of situations. You have to. Some women are afraid to be alone, and they're you have to be okay with being alone. You have to be okay with being alone, and you have to um know how to be alone. When I say okay with being alone, I don't mean that you don't want to have that companionship, but just you know being comfortable with being alone to the point to where you don't make yourself vulnerable. You don't put yourself in these situations and make yourself vulnerable from these scammers out here, because there's a whole lot of them out here, ladies. You got to be aware. It's a whole lot of them out here, and so and some of these men can be on drugs or alcoholics. They can be toxic. Um, Stay tuned. I'm doing a book review on this book, Toxic Men. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. It's a very good read. I recommend every woman in this world to purchase that book, Toxic Men. That book is going to save a lot of women's lives. So I'm getting ready to do a book review on that. So stay tuned. But yeah, ladies, beware of the hobosexual. Beware of them. There's a lot of scammers out here, um, particularly single mothers. Particularly single mothers. I'm especially concerned about the young single mothers. I'm especially concerned about them because yeah, these guys think they slick. They think they slick. But you gotta be on your guard, ladies. You gotta have your guard up, and you can't fall for it. And the important thing is to not jump into a sexual relationship with these guys, because they figure they can hook you that way. They figure they can really hook you that way. They figure once you get sexually involved with them, they put it on you real good, get you to fall in love with them, they figure you get that emotional attachment to them, and then they figure once they get you in there, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to appeal to your emotions and get you in there emotionally and get your heart in there. Once they get your heart in there, then you can get anything they want out of you. Don't fall for it, ladies. Don't fall for it. You gotta have we not say you. I'm talking about me too. We gotta have our guard up. We gotta protect our heart. We have to have our guard up. I've been through a broken heart before, so it ain't no fun. But it wasn't with no homosexual. Even when I was young, I didn't fall for that. Now I know I made mistakes, but that wasn't one of them. Because I never believed in shacking up. So I didn't fall for that one, thank God. So I made some dumb mistakes when I was young, but that wasn't one of them. Okay, so I need you. This is what I need you guys to do. I need you guys to like, subscribe, and share my videos. Please make sure you are sharing my videos, because when you share my videos, that will give me more subscribers. Google is tripping because I got on my channel earlier, my page earlier in the time I didn't have no subscribers. I almost had a heart attack. I don't know. Google be doing too much, and then later on I look back on there. It's back on there now, so I don't know if anybody else had to go through that or whatever. But Google be doing too much. They get on my nerves. They be doing too much. But anyway, I need you guys to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell so every time I do a video, it'll pop up on your thing. I need you. I need you to help your girl. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. I need you to help me. You guys to help me get to that 1,000 subscribe mark, so I can start monetizing. That would be nice. I like doing YouTube. I enjoy doing YouTube. But it would be nice to make make some money on here. I generate an income. And that would be real nice. I could. It would be a blessing. I sure could use the money. So I just need you guys to help me get to that 1,000 subscribe mark. Stay tuned. I got some more interesting video topics coming up. Okay, peace and love. Have a blessed Tuesday. This is Sweet June.